Good evening. I'm Power 5 meteorologist Kyle Adams. We are tracking the end of this snowstorm that has been here for nearly 24 hours in Northeast Ohio. We have really one more strong band of snow that is moving just on the west side of Cleveland, now pushing into the city. Now, earlier in the 6 o'clock show, I was actually in Storm Tracker and we were driving. I was with Ian. We drove over near Lakewood, and what we're looking at is this band that's you can see now moving into Cleveland. So this band, putting down an inch, maybe inch and a half of snow per hour. And that's what we're looking at right over Lorain, Oberlin, and now moving into Cleveland. This is also stretching down, into the Medina area, Brunswick. I didn't do my circle very well there, but you can see that's where the heaviest snow is right now. We're going to see another inch to maybe 2 inches here in the Cleveland area before this moves out. So you can see the back edge of this system. It's like already past Sandusky, just moving through Mansfield, and then behind it, very, very dry air. So thankfully, this is beginning to move out, but we have had quite a lot of snow across Northeast Ohio, right? So looking at some of the snowfall totals, actually, meteorologist Trent McGill here just put out a call on social media, and we're getting all kinds of reports. So I'd love to hear what you have. Put them in the comments here. Right now I'm looking at a comment right here coming in, heavy in Euclid, Lakeshore right now. But, we had people 10 inches just recently in Mogador from a viewer. We've got New Philly down in Tuscarawas County, 14 inches. So I'm in Stark County. I drove up earlier today, and around, I would say, 2 o'clock to about 3 o'clock, driving north of Canton through Akron and then up to about the Turnpike. Man, it was heavy snow. It was hard to see the highway anywhere. But once I got north of 80, we had a lane that I could see, a little bit of blacktop that I could follow. But with this last band moving through right now through the Cleveland area, through Lorain County, through Cuyahoga County, and into Medina County, a lot of the work that the ODOT crews have been doing all day today are, they're getting more snow, especially in this area right here with this band moving through. We had some heavier snow down into Stark County earlier, Carroll County, into the Salem area, Youngstown. Some of these totals, again, most of the area, especially Akron and South, I do think is going to be coming close to 12 inches by the time this is all said and done. So let's look here. You got 11 inches in Champion. Yeah, Trumbull County, from Heather, Hartville, down near my neck of the woods, 10 inches in Hartville. Yeah, that makes sense. When I left Stark County, around the North Canton area earlier today, I had about 9 inches at 12:30. So Hartville, not too far from there. Parma, the snow coming down in Parma. That's from Ann right now. Harder than it has all day. I believe that. I was with Ian in Storm Tracker earlier for the 6 o'clock news, and we got into Ohio City on some of the side roads, and man, it was difficult, especially in some of those thinner roads where we had traffic coming two ways. We almost got stuck a couple times, so you definitely want to be careful. Check on your neighbors. A foot at Barberton, I believe that. We've had the heavier snow, especially some of the heavier snowfall totals to the south, but all in all, even earlier in Medina, I'd like to see a report from Medina if we have one, but 8 to 12 inches, basically north of 76 and then south of 76. We've seen higher than a foot, especially as I just mentioned in New Philly, 12 in Worcester from Eddie. So Eddie, thank you for that. Let's take a look at the alerts. We still have these winter storm warnings in effect through tomorrow morning. But again, the snow is coming to an end. And wind gust wise, we're going to see these winds picking up probably overnight. They will pick up overnight. What about Cleveland? Well, Cleveland is going to get another inch to 2 inches over the next probably hour and a half as this last band of snow moves through. So to answer your question there. But wind gusts, right? We've been fortunate today that we haven't really dealt with high wind gusts because the type of snow that we've had, you've heard it from Alan, you've heard it from Trent, you've heard it from Phil, and I'm telling you now, the type of snow, it's been a light, fluffy snow. That's why it's piled up so quick. But it would be easily blowable on the roadways if we did have stronger wind gusts, which thankfully we haven't, which is why we, of course, haven't seen. This isn't called a blizzard. This is just a winter storm. Blizzard has everything to do with wind, right? And we have not even come close to the criteria for that for a blizzard, right? But we have had plenty of snow here in Northeast Ohio. And as we continue into the overnight hours tonight, these winds will pick up. So if you do have to travel, if you have to be out in the highways, you will deal with some blowing snow. I don't think it'll be, it's not going to be blizzard conditions, but you will get blowing snow because of the nature of the type of snow that we have. Canal Fulton, still snowing here in Canal Fulton, right? Let's take a look at Canal Fulton. A great place. Let's look down on our radar one more time. Go down into northwest Stark County. There's Canal Fulton. Yeah, there's that heaviest, that band of snow that's moving through Cleveland right now is stretching down into Canal Fulton, the Clinton area, in northern Wayne County into Worcester. All of this is moderate snow, potentially, half of an inch to an inch per hour. But the good news is, if you are, let's see who, Melanie in Canal Fulton, the good news is that the end is near. Not too long, right? So if you got to get out and you want to shovel before you go to bed tonight, maybe wait another hour and a half, let the snow come down a little bit longer, and then get that last shovel in, and I think you'll be good because the end of the snow is just off Mansfield there under Richland County. All right. Ravenna has a lot, of course. Lakewood coming down hard right now. Yeah, there's no doubt about that because we move up into Lakewood here. And that is where that heaviest snow band is right now. So in the Lakewood area, right here, that you got probably another hour. We were just talking to Trent. He lives on the west side as well. Got out to shovel. Dropped another inch of snow on the ground, might have to shovel again, right? So just wait a little bit because the back end of the snow is just about over Vermilion right now and moving off to the east, okay? Ashtabula County, East Lake, you probably got another 2 hours until the snow comes to an end, but there's that heavy band moving over Ashtabula as well. Easily could see an inch of snow per hour, maybe an inch and a half of snow per hour for Ashtabula County. That was for Renee. Paynesville, Matthew, Johnson and Paynesville, a lot of heavy snow. So yeah, that band, again, it's really right. You can see it really well on our Power 5 radar. Right there, coming through. That's it though, that's it. And then we're done with the snow. We're gonna see some lake effects setting up tomorrow. But after that, after tonight, after the next couple of hours, this snow will come to the synoptic snow. This snowstorm that, as you heard Alan talk about earlier, was 2,000 miles wide. One of the bigger in scale snowstorms that we've seen in a very long time. As far as totals wise, as Alan said earlier, not the biggest, but the size of this storm, it's quite large. All right, let us take a couple of looks here at the wind chill. Wind chill is going to be a factor, right? So schools have already, for the most part, canceled for Monday. I believe most schools are canceled for Monday, right? But I would not be surprised as we head into Tuesday, wind chill is going to be a big factor. Now, I do think I have my future wind chill graphic here. If I can find it. Even if I can't, oh, here it is right here. So look at this. And, I always say, the general, I don't want to say rule of thumb, but as we get into Tuesday morning, there we go. Look at that. As we get into Monday night into Tuesday morning, we're looking at wind chills that are going to be anywhere from 15 below to 25 below, okay? 15 below to 25 below Tuesday morning. I'm not a superintendent, but I would think that would do it. right? Because that did it, and it wasn't even that cold about a week ago or so. Was it Monday or no? That was Tuesday, the day after Martin Luther King Day, when wind chills are about 15 or so below, and a lot of schools canceled. And this is colder than that. So that's Tuesday morning, right? And then all week we're going to deal with overnight lows here in Northeast Ohio that are going to be around zero or even below zero in some cases. So wind chills. After the snow ends here tonight, I think the wind chill is going to be the biggest story of the week, along with very cold temperatures that's going to stick around. So that means the snow that we have is not going anywhere for a long time, right? The foot of snow on average that we got is not going anywhere. Okay, so is it still going to be snowing in Lorain by 5 a.m.? No, I do not think it will be snowing in Lorain by 5 a.m. As a matter of fact, I think the snow is going to end in Lorain by about 9 p.m. So that you got that going for you, Angela. There will be some lake effect bands that will set up tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, but Lorain shouldn't be affected by those. Okay, I have to go to Cleveland Airport. I have to go to Hopkins. Aaron, at 1 a.m., how is 71? Take your time, Aaron. I would just plan on taking your time. You got to get to the airport. The snow should be done by then. It will be done by then at Hopkins. But I would think that if you have to go at 1 o'clock, the plows, which have been just working nonstop for the last 24 hours, even longer than that, should have 71 at least, I would say, decently cleared off by then. But just, of course, take your time. I love it. Mail carrier for Amherst. Wish me luck. Noah. Good luck, Noah. I love it. Seriously, though, stay warm and be safe because, yeah. What will the total be for Parma? Parma's probably going to fall anywhere from, I would say, 10 to 12 inches of snow when it's all said and done. But again, once you're up to about 9 or 10 inches, what's another inch or two, right? I mean, like I say that half jokingly, but with a big storm like this, that's a lot. How should the morning commute look in Akron, Canton? So that's something that a lot of people are worried about for the morning commute. Listen, the plows have been doing a great job. ODOT's been doing a great job all day today, but they've got a lot of work to do, especially once this snow comes to an end. Because I got to imagine they've been really heavily focusing on the highways. So they're going to be, hopefully getting to some of the less traveled roads, I would think, overnight and then throughout the day tomorrow. But it's going to be, a slower commute for sure. I can't say exactly how great, but it's going to be a slower commute. So you definitely want to give yourself some extra time. Let's see here. So, yeah, I think, but I wanted to come on here and talk about a couple of things. We've got the end of the snow within the next probably 2 hours here in Cleveland. The end of the snow probably in the next 2 hours here in Cleveland, okay? And then some real dry air works in. Tomorrow, we could see some lake effect bands in the primary snow belt setting up. Let's get a look at that really quick. With our future cast, we go ahead here. Tomorrow, notice that temperatures are only going to be in the single digits. There's the lake effect bands really starting to set up, at about 10:30 by 11 o'clock in the normal areas. You see them, just to the east of Cleveland into, northern Summit County, Geauga County, Portage County, and Lake County. And then throughout the rest of the day, you can see some lake effect trying to set up maybe into Lorain County by about 1 o'clock, just over Elyria there, Menor, Ashtabula. But I don't think it's going to be more than an inch or two before the end of the day. And then even into Tuesday, skies clear out. But look at this. This is Monday night into Tuesday morning. And these are actual air temperatures, not wind chills. These are actual air temperatures. So we're looking at Tuesday morning. Yeah, if we get a clear sky, which it looks like we will Tuesday or Monday night into Tuesday morning, clear sky, a lot of snow on the ground. I always say clouds at night, especially in the winter, they essentially act as a blanket, right? And when you don't have clouds, temperatures can cool down. quickly, right? Especially with a foot of snow on the ground. So actual air temperatures Monday night are going to be below zero. We're going to get a breeze. Wind chills will be 15 to 25 below zero Tuesday morning, okay? That's the big story after we get rid of this snow that's moving through right now. Then we see some clouds move in Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. And then again, still in the single digits, maybe some more snow heading into Tuesday. It's going to be a cold week with some on and off again snow showers throughout the week. All right, let's look at the radar one more time here, where we're looking at the end of this snow moving through right now. The end, but it's going to kind of go out with a bang here because we got some heavy snow right now moving through Cleveland, Medina, Strongsville, moving over Worcester, Greene, Akron, Barberton, Canal Fulton, North Canton, down near Brewster, Apple Creek. That's the last of it. Once it moves through, drop another inch and a half, and then it's out of here. You can see nothing's behind there. Finley's clear. Marion's clear. Sandusky's clear now. Norwalk's clear. Once this snow moves off to the east, that's it for the night. Hopefully the road crews can really get some work done overnight. Thank you, road crews. We all owe them a thanks. And then as this all moves off to the east, we're just going to deal with cold temperatures as we venture into the new week with wind chills well below zero Monday night into Tuesday morning. All right, Alan and I are here all evening. We'll be tracking this. But again, this snow is coming to an end by about 10 o'clock here in Northeast Ohio. Dry out. It's cold week ahead. So stay tuned here to Power 5. We'll be on at 11. I'll be in the storm tracker once again, actually down in the Canton area. So we'll be down there. And be sure to tune in at 11 for Tracy and Alan and the rest of the crew. Thank you for, just keeping up to date with us. And we appreciate all the storm reports and keep them coming. Thanks, everybody.